At the hospital, the doctor said, "We're removing your son's leg today." I was in the pre-op waiting room when the surgeon dropped this bombshell on me. What? He's here to get his tonsils removed. I set down my coffee and stared at him. Says here that his leg is to be amputated because of his diabetes. He showed me the chart. There it was in black and white. Sean Hopkins, age 12, below knee amputation for severe diabetic complications. But Sean didn't have diabetes. We'd done blood work last week. Everything was normal. This had to be some kind of system error. This is wrong. You need to stop this right now. I stood up, feeling my heart race. Sir, he's already in OR3. They took him back 30 minutes ago. I didn't even think, just stood up and ran. I pushed past nurses and dodged gurneys in the hallway, followed the signs to the surgical wing. A security guard tried to stop me at the restricted access doors, but I shoved through anyway. The alarms started blaring as I searched for OR3. Through the window, I could see Sean on the table, already draped, already surrounded by the surgical team. I pounded on the glass, screaming for them to stop. The circulating nurse looked up annoyed and pointed to a phone on the wall. "Stop the surgery! He doesn't have diabetes!" I shouted into the intercom. They couldn't hear me properly through the masks and surgical equipment noise. One of them made a cutting gesture, either telling me to be quiet or indicating they were about to cut. I didn't wait to find out which. The door was locked electronically. I grabbed a fire extinguisher and smashed it against the handle until something broke. Security was running toward me as I burst into the operating room, contaminating their sterile field. Everyone started yelling at once. "Check his blood work from last week. He's not diabetic." I moved toward the table. Two orderlies grabbed me and started dragging me out. Over their shoulders, I could see the surgeon holding a scalpel, the anesthesiologist checking monitors, Sean unconscious and prepped. They pulled me into the hallway as the surgeon yelled about calling the police. I broke free and ran to the nurse's station, grabbed the phone and called Sasha. She had to know something, had to help me stop this. She answered on the third ring, sounding weirdly calm for someone whose son was in surgery. "They're cutting off his leg. You have to call them." I was screaming into the phone. "Honey, calm down. It's all arranged." Her voice was steady and cold. "What do you mean arranged?" "My friend Harper helped update the medical records. Disabled kids get much better college scholarships. I've researched everything." The world tilted. My wife had done this. She had falsified our son's medical records and arranged for his healthy leg to be amputated, all for college money. I dropped the phone and ran back to OR3, but security was blocking the door. Through the window, I could see them working, see the surgical drapes moving, see the concentration on the surgeon's face as he made precise movements. They weren't stopping. They weren't checking anything. They were cutting off my 12-year-old son's healthy foot. I fought the security guards, screamed about fraud and falsified records. They pinned me down and called the police. By the time Detective Walter arrived and understood what I was saying, it was too late. They'd already removed Sean's foot, already cauterized and closed, already made my healthy son disabled. They arrested Sasha at her book club. The surgical team was horrified when they learned the truth, but none of that gave Sean his foot back. None of that undid what my wife had orchestrated. I was in recovery when Sean woke up, watched his confusion turn to horror as he realized something was wrong. He felt his foot wasn't there and started crying and asking why. I couldn't speak. My phone rang. Sasha calling from jail. I answered because I needed to hear her try to justify this. "Did they remove it?" She sounded excited. "What's wrong with you? Trust me, this is all part of my plan. Start looking at mansions. We're gonna be rich." The hospital would settle for millions to avoid publicity. Disability benefits would kick in immediately. Every college in the country would want him. Speaking fees, book deals, documentary rights. She'd calculated every revenue stream from our son's amputation. "I've already got lawyers calling me," she continued. "Medical malpractice, failure to verify, emotional distress. We'll own that hospital by the time we're done. The beauty is they can't undo it," she said proudly. "Reattachment window is closed. He'll adapt. Kids are resilient, and we'll never worry about money again." Full story on channel linked below.